Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 11 in the book of 2 Peter. That is season 20. I'm going to title today, Patience's Purpose. That is, the purpose of God's patience. Patience's purpose. And one of the fun things about quote-unquote Bible study, which sounds so boring, by that I mean Bible reading and thinking. That means pondering for a minute, or maybe pondering for more than a minute, or maybe it means pondering as long as it takes. Basically, it's a time of thinking about God. It's not inappropriately to think about like a love letter, getting a letter from a lover, where you get this letter, you read about it, and you think about them, and you think about the character, their character and their characteristics as recalled by the letter, as inspired by the letter. Very similar. I was thinking about, I am my beloved, and he is mine, from Song of Solomon. And today, this morning, I've been thinking about God kind of via the stars. I'm sitting out here outside, and there's lots of stars out this morning, at least when I started. And every once in a while, we hear from the Lord in his book something about his character. And specifically today, what he's thinking about us. We're going to hear what his promises are, what he wants with regards to our repentance, and we're going to hear about his character of being patient. Now, in the passage just before this, he's going to be accused of being too slow. And it's funny because it's the guy who's accusing him is the guy that's under time constraints, and he's accusing the guy who's the inventor and is outside of time of being too slow. And he's going to tell us something about himself, and he's going to tell us something about his patience. This is from 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. If this is the only thing you knew about 2 Peter, this would be a great verse to remember. Here it is. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness, but he is patient toward you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentance. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness, but he is patient toward you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentance. That's 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So yesterday the title was about reaching repentance, because that is how, and only how, that you get to the point of being not perishing. So what do I hear about God, my beloved God, as I think about him here today in this single verse, 2 Peter 3:9. First of all, that he is not slow. And I guess also I think he's not fast. That is, he's right on time. Secondly, there's something in there about promises, that he's been making promises. Thirdly, that he is a promise fulfiller. And the Christian life is one of hope. And some of the promises we get answered right away. But many of them, we see later. And so we rely on these promises. We rely on our hope in him. The next thing is that the God has put himself out there to be seen. So yes, to be understood through creation, through stars and waves, and maybe misinterpreted, maybe incorrectly seen. Maybe like the person in this passage, this person that from the wings is saying, you're too slow, God. So that means that they're misunderstanding God, and God is patiently correcting and re-showing himself to say, no, I'm not too slow. I'm right on time. So do we think incompletely about God? Yes. Or incorrectly about God? Yes. And all these things are directed toward us. That is, he is directionally with us. His eye and his hand are toward us and for us. That is rescue. And he wishes that none would perish. And if you're listening today and you are perishing, this means you. He does not want you to perish. He is not wishing this for you. That is not his will. It's not his purpose. It's not his intention. It's not what he wants. And this gives us a window into the heart and motivation of God. What he does wish is that you reach repentance. And to get there, and I know it's a long journey, and if this is the day of your sorrow, which is also to say this is the day of your salvation, because your day of salvation is a day of sorrow for sin, sorrow for the penalty of sin, and sorry for the misapplied penalty of sin, not on you, onto Jesus. You don't get to salvation without going through some sorrow. And then the big point today, I think, is this patience, that he's patient toward us. So it's like a parent being patient with a child. It means to be long-spirited. You know, you don't expect a 4-year-old to be acting like a teenager or an 18-year-old. You're appropriately patient with them, long-spirited. You have the long view in mind, and similarly, I think the Lord has a long view of us in mind. So that means he has to forbear while we provoke him and we scoff at him and we misunderstand him. So all the meantime, he is patient towards us. So my prayer today, I hope that today is your day of sorrow, which is the day of your salvation, which means that God's patience has had a purpose. Thank you for listening. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness, but is patient toward you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentance.